Um, Hello everyone, good afternoon. Myself, Manohar, representing UL Technology Solutions. And apart from me, my team, our delivery manager, Mr. Babis is there, and other my project managers, Jismol and Vrinda were assisting me. So basically, what we want to discuss is that is my topic today is that streamlining the municipal services through the open source PMS, that is a property management system actually. So we are actually giving this solution to the almost 80 to 90 plus LSGDs, that is panchayats, corporations, municipalities. And basically we want to actually streamline how they are managing their business activity, business workflow. For example, the basic functionality of LSGD is to, apart from the basic administration, they have to do the resource allocations and management like fund management, those kind of things. And also urban development and rural development, how they can develop the existing living conditions of the cities, their citizens, and also the implementations of the government schemes, how they can ensure that the government schemes has reached their end beneficiaries. So these are the few solutions. So as we know, some of you know, we are a part of a very huge organization, that is ULCCS, and apart from us there are a lot of other business model also. I don't think it will be mentioned there. So these are the few challenges that are faced by the LSGDs. One is there is no lack of digital infrastructure which would allow them to efficiently manage and update their asset details. For example, what is the building, existing corporation buildings or the buildings in the particular area, and as well as the socioeconomic conditions of the each and every people who is comes under their rule. And next is the undetectable revenue loss. This is the most common practice in almost all LSGD, like the assessment register or the existing tax collection criteria or parameter or assessment things were already it's not updated correctly, and we done almost as per experience, we almost has like 30 to 40% of revenue increase after our projects or our solution expertise. Next is that data reliability for beneficiary identification. You know, the identification of beneficiary relies on lot of parameters, maybe the age of the beneficiaries, the socioeconomic conditions, whether they are living in the poverty, what are the ration card they are using. Those are the few parameters actually. And most of us, we don't have that data at the fingertips. That in our solution, we can easily do that in a matter of minutes. We can easily segregate the section of people who need or who are beneficial for the particular schemes that can be identified. And another one is that geospatial data deficiency as well as the visualization tool gap. Both comes in hands to hands, because whenever we have the data, if we have it in the geospatial theme, it is always essential for managing that, monitoring that, and also give a very good view to the each and every stakeholder, starting from the administrator to the people who are benefiting from them. And our last but not least, that is the digitization and automation shortfall. Ultimately there is a need for digitization and automation of every municipality or local body functions, that they have to do the report generation, like timely periodic report generation has to be done and submitted. Those kind of things are there. There is some shortcomings. So one of our solution is that this is our ecosystem. As you can see the input, we have done a lot of things like primary data that we done, drone survey, ground survey, and also to certain limits we have done even in Thrissur we also done the GPR survey to mark the roads and mark the water pipelines that are buried under the ground. And apart from that, we also collect the data from local authorities such as CRZ zones, master plan, and assessment register. And we also integrating with Information Kerala Mission IKM with their building permits, trade license, and those kind of things. And what are the outcomes? Is you see that beneficiary identification, like I mentioned, that is the one outcome. Then decision support system for town planning, since we have all the land use land cover pattern, as well as the building information, socioeconomic information also. And the waste management, we are easily with the like Dr. Swasthar mentioned that the clarity of the drone imagery can give a very good information about what is the existing conditions also. And we have marked almost all the data, that is without any human interaction, through the drone imagery itself. Coming times, I think we will try to showcase that through our web portal that has been demonstrated by Babish. And other than that, we are asking the revenue optimization. Like we said, we collected all the data that is pertaining to revenue tax calculations, and we assess as per that, and we find almost around 20 to 30% area changes in also, and basic AI analytics. And how we are doing is that, first of all, we are going to create a base map with a drone survey. We almost conducted 3,000 square kilometers areas has been covered through the drone survey. And next is we going to the collecting the secondary data, like I mentioned, assessment register, master plan data, and further any geospatial data that the client, that is the LSCD administration, want us to incorporate into the map or as a geospatial data. We are doing that. And next is we are also doing the mobile application based data collection, that is a field level ground level data collection to collect the data, to collect as well as verify ground truthing the road, because we can ultimately get the roads, buildings, everything in the drone image itself, but we have to ground truth it to make it useful for the PW department for the road widening projects or to assess the conditions of the roads. So those kind of things we are collecting the data through the mobile application that is homegrown in our organization itself. And this is one of the point we have to stress on it, that is a member survey of local populations. What we are doing is that we are going to each and every households or properties in the particular locality, and we are collecting almost nearly 100 plus attributes that not only includes details about the buildings, but also socioeconomic parameters such as who are the members, what are the names of the members, what is their age, what is their education, what is their like community, what is their other ethnicities also. So it is beneficial in a lot of the areas, like we can do the socioeconomic improvement, social beneficiary identification, those kind of things. And one of the integral part in here is we are actually employing the local population to conduct this survey. Like we are deploying almost 2 or 3 peoples, that is a survey coordinator peoples in the particular locations, and we are we are getting the peoples from the local population, like maybe the education institution or the graduates who are unemployed there. We are employing them for the data collection activities, and we are providing a week or 2 training, like I mentioned that. And after that, they are the person who are responsible for collecting the data of each and every households. So after that, we are also going the rigorous quality control process before we go into deploying all the data into the enterprise GIS portal. And ultimately, we have to do the data security and validation to maintain the data security also, since the data is ultimately very private, since it is pertaining to each and every households and those kind of things. So this is the overview of how our portal has been looking, and further demo would be done through just Vrinda. So, okay. So what are the core functionality? It is actually an open source enterprise platform. So we use open source technology. Entirely it is built on open source technology stack, and it also ensures the low total cost of ownership. And we almost have the retention of ROI within a year or 2 in most of our clients actually. And one of the constraints in LSGD is that they really want the system, but they are monitoring, like how we are going to own the system. So this here as a open source, we are actually trying to cut down the cost, and it is ultimately welcomed by all of our partners also. And mobile enabled survey, like I mentioned, that entire survey has been done through our homegrown applications. We built it from our scratch, and it has been used for every household survey, base map survey, like road survey and everything also. So next is that data analytics. Apart from not only collecting the data, we are also analyzing the data to uncover hidden patterns and other things, like we create a property tax, how much taxes has been collected, what are the health conditions in the pertain to the land, pertain to the ward wise, pertain to the locality wise, and what is their skill set, employment, those kind of things we are also collecting. Like you mentioned that one thing is data analytics is beneficiary identifications also. And again, the effortless report generation. So before going into the demo, I just want to give an intro on what are the benefits of the particular solution. One is the revenue optimization. Like we mentioned that through our survey and assessment, we can increase the tax revenue by at least 30% on the average. That you can assume that, for example, if your municipality is getting around 10 lakhs amount as a property tax, we can easily increase to additional 3 lakhs on that context. So what we are doing is that we are actually collecting the innovative measurement. We are not only mapping the building footprints on the drone imagery, but also we are also getting the plinth area with the laser distanceometer, and also with the base of like the parameters such as we collected like what is the floor material, what is the wall type, what is the roof type, and what is the age of the buildings. Those are details that has been collected through our survey itself. So based on that, we can identify what is the exact value of the property, and we are cross-referencing with our assessment register that we obtain from the local body government, and we can analyze how much revenue leakage is happening and who are the defaulters. Those things has been captured, and it has been forwarded to the LSCD department to revise their tax collection optimization. Next is the social benefits. Like we mentioned that we have the almost complete information of individuals with the location boundaries, so that we can actually what we say is that doorstep delivery of the beneficiary schemes. So that can be possible because we know this particular person of age of 60 or qualification of this with having such diseases may require this particular beneficiary scheme. So their location, their address, every detail is available to us. So we can easily deliver the beneficiary scheme pertaining to the certain people to the particular locations also. And next is the health management. Like we also know, we are also collecting the details of each member's health conditions also, like lifestyle health conditions like sugar, heart patients, heartache, cholesterol, those kind of details also. So it actually enables us to segregate the vulnerable populations. Okay, these peoples were that in certain ward, this bunch of peoples were suffering from lifestyle diseases or these chronic diseases. So those kind of things. And also it has helped us in identifying the disease patterns. And we can also use this information to develop utilities such as building a park or building a health facility such as pharmacy or hospitals, whether we can validate that for group of section whether this particular medical facility is available to them or not. So next is the infrastructure planning and development. Like we mentioned that we are most of things we have to essential infrastructure like waste disposal, sanitation, fresh water, like ma'am discussed about the sanitation and waste disposal. So based on that, actually, when we try to implement a solution, particularly LSGD, they really ask us to monitor, like see whether the waste dumping is happening on the river channel or thing. With that, we employ the data AI technology to segregate the images on the canal wise, and we identify there are particular locations where as the solid waste has been dumping has been done, and also set a limit. We can also identify where are the outfalls, which buildings were providing the outlet to the canals. So those kind of activities can be neglected. And apart from that, the infrastructure planning and development, we can easily address the criteria like what is the need of the infrastructure in a particular vicinity or particular area of interest. So because we have almost all the socioeconomic data as well as the existing infrastructure data also, so we can count, like I said, whether in a particular vicinity for a group of 500 or 1,000 peoples, is there any particular health facilities available or not, whether there is any school education facilities available or not. So those kind of things can be easily properly planned through our solution also. And another one is environmental conversation. In here actually we are almost mapping all the biodiversity layers such as wetlands, quarries, ponds, canals, and which would be contributing to the biodiversity balance actually. So based on that, we are actually having a inventory of this biodiversity areas, and when we planning infrastructure projects or when we planning the master plan, it would be very much helpful in identifying or segregating certain locations. And also we can also know whether if there is any project is coming near to the wetland, those kind of things we can be avoided also. And next is the urban planning. That is the basic urban planning. Basic necessity is to have the land cover map and other GIS base maps availability. That is almost, we are having almost all the data is available with us. And next is the disaster management. Here actually, apart from we are doing the mapping natural hazard, that is easily can be done through the existing data that is available with the Kerala state disaster agencies and also LSCD department, and also when we done some certain agencies, certain locations or local bodies, they are exactly asking for what is the flood level hit in each location. So when we doing the building survey or a property survey, door-to-door survey, we go on there and we have asked the local population itself how much of water has been seeping to the particular building. So almost every level of flood level of each and every building has been asserted. And apart from that, since we are using the drone imagery and drone collection, we are also having a 3D model available with us, that is a DEM, DSM and contour maps also, which is very beneficial in modeling the disaster actually. For example, flood can be modeled easily through that and those kind of thing. And another one is analyzing the vulnerable area. Once it is modeled, we can know what are the vulnerable areas in the pattern. For example, if we model the vicinity, like we are having, okay. So we can know how much of buildings has been covered through in the flood, how much of vulnerable population has to be evacuated to a particular location, that can be done. Next is the basic engineering activity. We are having almost entire database of road and drainage layers, and with that actually we can know how much, like if there is a need to widen the road, like we mentioned last road widening project or retharing or tarring projects, that can be done easily through that. So I think time constraint is very less, and like just to give the last one, since we are having a 80, like I mentioned that we are almost covered 80 to 90 LSGD projects, and that is almost 3,000 square kilometer has been mapped using drone, and we almost covered 1.1 million of properties has been mapped through that. That is almost 10% of Kerala's entire asset register, and we also mapped 6,000 kilometers of roads were mapped through it. Thank you, and I would like Vrinda to give an introductions on the demo on our portal solutions.
അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് സമയപരിധിയുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ IPMS പ്രൊജക്റ്റിൻ്റെ എല്ലാ കാര്യങ്ങളും മനോഹർ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ ഔട്ട്പുട്ടായ ദൃഷ്ടി പോർട്ടൽ ഞാൻ നിങ്ങൾക്കൊന്ന് പരിചയപ്പെടുത്തി തരാം. അത് LSTDക്ക് എങ്ങനെ ഉപകാരപ്രദമാകും എന്നുള്ള 1-2 എക്സാമ്പിൾ വെച്ച് ഞാൻ പറയാം. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട് ഓർ സജഷൻസ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ പറയാം. അപ്പോൾ ഇതാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഔട്ട്പുട്ടായ ദൃഷ്ടി പോർട്ടൽ. ഇതാണ് നമ്മൾ LSTDകൾക്ക് കൈമാറുന്നത്. ഇതിൻ്റെ ക്രെഡൻഷ്യൽസ് നമ്മൾ കൊടുക്കും, അവർക്കത് പിന്നെ യൂസ് ചെയ്യാം. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഒരു ആ പഞ്ചായത്തിൻ്റെ ഒരു നമ്മൾ കളക്ട് ചെയ്ത ഡാറ്റയുടെ ഒരു ഡാഷ്ബോർഡാണിത്. ഇതിൽ നോക്കി എത്ര പ്രോപ്പർട്ടീസ് ഉണ്ട്, അവിടെ എത്ര റോഡ് കിലോമീറ്റർ, എത്ര ലെങ്ത്ത് ഉണ്ട്, അത് നമ്മൾ എത്ര ഡ്രെയിനേജ് കവർ ചെയ്തു, ട്രാൻസ്ഫോം, അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് ഇവിടെ കിട്ടും. അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ ഒരു മാപ്പ് വ്യൂവർ ഉണ്ട്. അതിൽ പോയാൽ നമ്മൾ ആ പഞ്ചായത്തിൻ്റെ മാപ്പ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതാണ് നമ്മൾ LSTDയുടെ ബൗണ്ടറിയിൽ നടത്തിയ ഡ്രോൺ സർവേ ഇമേജാണിത്. അപ്പോൾ ഇമേജിൻ്റെ ക്ലാരിറ്റി നോക്കാം. നമുക്ക് ഇത് ഉപയോഗിച്ച് തന്നെ പലവിധ വികസന പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളും ഇത് ഉപയോഗിച്ച് നമുക്ക് നടത്താൻ പറ്റും. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിൽ നമ്മൾ ഈ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് ഒക്കെ ലോക്കൽ ബോഡി ബൗണ്ടറി, വാർഡ് ബൗണ്ടറി നമ്മൾ കളക്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതായത് ഇതിപ്പോൾ ഒരു വളപട്ടണം പഞ്ചായത്തിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഡെമോ പോർട്ടലാണിത്. അപ്പോൾ അതിൽ കളക്ട് ചെയ്ത ബിൽഡിംഗ് അസറ്റ്സ് നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ കാണാൻ പറ്റും. അപ്പോൾ നേരത്തെ മനോഹർ പറഞ്ഞു എന്തൊക്കെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ ഇവിടുന്ന് കളക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടെന്നുള്ള ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് അവൻ മനോഹർ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതൊരു ഇപ്പോൾ ഈ ബിൽഡിങ്ങിൻ്റെ ഈ പോയിന്റിൽ ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്താൽ അവിടെ നമ്മൾ കളക്ട് ചെയ്ത ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ്, ആ വീടിൻ്റെ ഫോട്ടോ അടക്കം നമുക്ക് ഇതിൽ കാണാൻ പറ്റും. അതിൻ്റെ ഓണർ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ്, പ്രോപ്പർട്ടി നമ്പർ തുടങ്ങിയ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് കാണാൻ പറ്റും. ഇത് പഞ്ചായത്തിന് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ LSTDകൾക്ക് അതിൻ്റെ ടാക്സ് ഡിവിഷന് വേണ്ടി ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ പറ്റും. ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു പഞ്ചായത്തിൻ്റെ അംഗീകാരം ഇല്ലാതെ നടത്തിയ റിനോവേഷൻസൊക്കെ നമുക്ക് ഇതിൽ നോക്കി മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ പറ്റും. അപ്പോൾ ആ പഞ്ചായത്തിൽ എത്ര ഹോസ്പിറ്റൽസ് ഉണ്ട്, ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയൽ പ്രോപ്പർട്ടീസ് എത്രയുണ്ട്, എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ബിൽഡിംഗ് എത്രയുണ്ട്, ഓഫീസ് ഉണ്ട്, കൊമേഴ്ഷ്യൽ ഉണ്ട് എന്നുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ നമുക്ക് ഇതിൽ നോക്കി മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ പറ്റും. അതുപോലെ റോഡ് അസറ്റ്സ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ട്രാൻസ്പോർട്ടേഷൻ അസറ്റ്സ്, റോഡിൻ്റെ എല്ലാ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസും, അതായത് റോഡിൻ്റെ വിഡ്ത്ത്, കാരേജ് വിഡ്ത്ത്, റോ വിഡ്ത്ത്, അതിൻ്റെ കൺസ്ട്രക്ഷൻ മെറ്റീരിയൽ എന്താണ്, അത് പ്രൈവറ്റ് റോഡാണോ പഞ്ചായത്ത് റോഡാണോ തുടങ്ങിയ കാര്യങ്ങളും വിത്ത് ഫോട്ടോ നമുക്കിവിടെ കാണാൻ പറ്റും. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ നമുക്ക് പഞ്ചായത്തുകൾക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും വികസന പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾ, അതായത് ഇപ്പം പഞ്ചായത്തിന് ഒരു മണ്ണിട്ട റോഡുകൾ ഫുൾ കോൺക്രീറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരു പദ്ധതി വന്നിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ തന്നെ അവർക്ക് എത്ര കിലോമീറ്റർ റോഡ് നമുക്ക് ടാർ ചെയ്യാനുണ്ട് എന്നുള്ള അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കോൺക്രീറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനുണ്ട് എന്നുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഈ അഡ്വാൻസ് ഡേറ്റ്സ് ഉപയോഗിച്ച് അവർക്ക് കാണാൻ പറ്റും. അതായത് ട്രാൻസ്പോർട്ടേഷൻ അസറ്റ്സ്, റോഡ് കൊടുത്ത്, റോഡ് മെറ്റീരിയൽ, ഏർത്തൻ കൊടുത്ത് നമ്മളിവിടെ അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ആ പഞ്ചായത്തിലുള്ള എല്ലാ മണ്ണിട്ട റോഡ്, അതായത് ഏർത്തൻ റോഡുകളുടെയും ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് ഇവിടെ കിട്ടും. അപ്പോൾ അത് ഉപയോഗിച്ച് അവർക്ക് പദ്ധതികൾ ഫീൽഡിൽ പോകാണ്ട് തന്നെ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ സാധിക്കും. ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു റോഡ്, അതായത് ഈ ഒരു റോഡ് ഒരു 40 മീറ്റർ വിഡ്ത്ത് കൂട്ടണം എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇതിൻ്റെ ബഫർ ഇട്ട് നോക്കിയാൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ ഞാൻ കൊടുത്ത് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതായത് ഇപ്പോൾ നെറ്റ് കണക്ഷൻ സ്ലോ ആയതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ ഓൾറെഡി സെലക്ട് ചെയ്ത് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ബഫർ ഇട്ട് കൊടുത്താൽ 40 മീറ്റർ ഡ്രോ ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞു. അപ്പോൾ ആ 40 മീറ്ററിൽ വരുന്ന എല്ലാ ബിൽഡിങ്സും കാണാൻ പറ്റും. അപ്പോൾ എത്ര ബിൽഡിംഗ് അവർക്ക് ഈ റോഡ് വികസനം കാരണം എത്ര ബിൽഡിങ്ങിന് ഒഴിവാക്കേണ്ടി വരും എന്നുള്ള ഡീറ്റെയിൽസും അടക്കം ഇവിടെ കാണാൻ പറ്റും. അപ്പോൾ ആ ബിൽഡിങ്ങിൻ്റെ പ്രോപ്പർട്ടി നമ്പർ അടക്കമുള്ള ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് ഇവിടെ കിട്ടും. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ആ പഞ്ചായത്തിൻ്റെ ലാൻഡ് യൂസ് നമ്മൾ ഡിജിറ്റൈസ് ചെയ്ത് ഇവിടെ പബ്ലിഷ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ആ പഞ്ചായത്ത്, ഇപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ ഒരു റിവർ ഉണ്ട്, അവിടെ റിവറിൻ്റെ സൈഡിലുള്ള ബിൽഡിങ്സ്, അപ്പോൾ അവിടെ ഫ്ലഡ് പ്രോൺ ഏരിയാസ് നമുക്ക് കിട്ടും. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ അതുപോലെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ നമുക്ക് ഈ പോർട്ടൽ ഒന്ന് ഓഫീസിൽ ഇരുന്നുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ അവർക്ക് എല്ലാ പദ്ധതികളും ആസൂത്രണം ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിക്കും.